So this is my speech that I gave on the 8th day of Passover. Welcome, everybody. Today is the 8th day of Passover, which is connected to the 7th day of Passover. The 7th day of Passover, we're celebrating the wonderful crossing of the sea, where the Jewish people were trapped by the sea on one side and the Egyptian army on the other side. And God made a miracle that all of a sudden, as the Jewish people started walking into the sea, it split into tunnels and the Jewish people went through. Today is the 8th day of Passover. Today the Haftorah is all about the promises of how glorious the life will be when Mashiach comes, when Messiah shows up. The lamb will live with the wolf. No more war will be, etc. So today is what we call Mashiach Day. What's the connection between crossing of the sea and Mashiach Day? Because one comes right after the other one. A bigger question is, why did the Jews have to actually cross the sea? Because they were trapped? God could have easily created some type of a death for the Egyptians. He didn't have to put them into the sea to kill them. Just a few days earlier, he had the death of the firstborn. They all went. God could have done the same thing with the entire Egyptian army. Why did he have to go through the whole thing of splitting the sea that I, the Jew, had to go through it? So the biggest question is, it wasn't for the killing of the Egyptians, because God could have done it in many other ways. In other words, God wanted me to experience the splitting of the sea. Why? What is it about the splitting of the sea that you and I have to learn something from? Let's put this all to the side. Let's discuss a statement from the Talmud. Our great rabbis tell us about who is Mashiach. Who is this great leader? Well, we know he's from the house of King David. But the Talmud goes and says, in Sanhedrin, it says that Mashiach will be Caesar. Caesar? Caesar? Like Julius Caesar? Roman? The Romans are the ones that destroyed the Holy Temple. And the rabbis go and declare Mashiach will be Caesar. Now, I don't think that the Talmud was trying to talk about Julius Caesar, who, when he wanted to conquer Egypt, at that time the Jewish people, the king of Israel from the Hashmonaim family, lent soldiers so that they should be able to defeat Egypt. And Julius Caesar was very nice to the Jewish people at that time. I don't think that's what they meant. Why would we be called Caesar? I'm not Mashiach. Why would Mashiach be called Caesar? My dear friends, before we answer that question, let's talk about a leader. Any type of a good leader for its country. A leader comes in, it inherits all the problems of yesterday. It could be a bad economy, it could be crime, it could be illness. There's a lot of things that a new leader comes into and has to go and lead its country, if it's a good leader, a good king, into prosperity, into health, and into safety. So he can't go and do the same old, same old, same old. He has to come up with a whole new way of looking at things. Because if you look at the same old, you're going to have the same results every single year. It's the same thing. You're going to go and put more cops onto the street? Very good. There's still crime where the cops aren't. You're going to go put more people in jail? Okay. There'll just be new people stealing, murdering, etc. You're going to go and have less taxes? Very good. So there'll be less taxes. But then somehow the economy spurs. But then after a while, less taxes. I mean, if you do the same things over and over, or you charge more taxes, so this is the way the government can put money. Everybody has their ideas, But at the end of the day, every 10, 15 years, we're in the same place that we were. And we're trying to get a king or a president or a leader to go and say, help us with the economy because this didn't work or that did work. And they all go back to the same tricks. Who is Mashiach? Mashiach is going to teach the world there's a whole new way. What you never even thought about. It's going to be such a powerful way that all of us are going to go like this, wow, it's that simple? Yeah. And all of a sudden, you're going to see humanity is going to realize, why are we killing each other? Life is better off. There's a better way. There won't be jealousy anymore that people are going to have to learn war, how to defeat the next person. Why? There's a better way. And everybody is going to get in on this new way. That's the whole concept of Mashiach. To open the eyes of everybody to a whole new way and how we can live in this world in a godly way, but a way that everybody will be able to live in peace and harmony. And it's literally something we all really want. As we say in the days of our prayer, and it'll come the day where the Lord will be king for the whole world, all the nations of the world. And on that day, we will all serve God in one way. In other words, it's not forced upon you. It's something everybody in the world is going to say, there's a better way. And that, my dear friends, is what the concept is of a Caesar. Huh? Well, where did Caesar get its name? Well, the concept of Caesar was that many, many years way before Julius Caesar, I think it's about 600-700 years before Julius Caesar, that there was a woman, a Roman woman, and what happened is that she was dying in death. And the baby wasn't able to come out the normal way. So what did they do? They did a cut. And out came the baby in a whole different way. And the baby was saved. And in Latin, the word, I think, cut is like Caesar or Ceasar, whatever it is. That's why today it's called a Caesarean birth, a C-section. Why? Because the normal way wasn't good. We had to come up with a whole new way to save this child. So too also, to save the world. That's what Mashiach is all about. To bring the world into a better place. To save it from its iniquities, from its craziness, from living in... You're always fighting for what? Why can't you just have peace? Why can't two people live together? There's enough for everybody. That's why it says in the prophets, there'll be no more jealousy. There's so much. But how are we going to do it? There's another way. You and I can't figure it out right now. We're trying it in many different ways. But there's always an agitator, there's always something. In the days of Mashiach, that's all going to be taken out. Why? Because we as the world are going to realize there's a better way, and we're going to work with everybody and uplift all the people in the world and say, come on, let's go and live this beautiful way. And God promises that beautiful way will actually bring healing to all diseases. How? I don't know. But that's going to be at that time. And these are our facts. So the concept of having a whole new look, a new way of doing things, and stop living in the same old, is a Caesar move, a Caesarian, a Mashiach move, a Messianic concept. What has it got to do with me and you? What has this got to do with the crossing of the sea? Very simple. You see, we were trapped. And at that time, it says in the Torah that the Jewish people, some of us were praying to God. Some of us said, let's go make war with the Egyptians. Some say, let's even go back to Egypt. What should we do? Comes God and says, there's another way. Where? What? It's impossible. It's the water. Go in the water. It doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't make sense. You don't realize it. But there's another way. And the Jewish people walked into the sea. There's another way. But there has to be a deeper lesson. My dear friends, you and I have an Egypt, a Pharaoh in us. It's called our ego. It's called our animal soul. It's called our selfishness. It's called all the stuff that swims inside us. That's really yucky. And every day we walk, some of us wake up depressed, some we're angry at our children, we're angry at our parents, we're angry at somebody. Some people are very happy, whatever it is, but there's always something, I can't get along with my neighbor, etc., etc., etc. There's always something. What's keeping you from changing? What is it? What are you talking about? You know, there's the famous line, it says, there are two kids, they're on a basketball court, and all of a sudden a guy goes and takes a shot, the other guy elbows him, he's bleeding from the nose, and they're fighting with each other. But 5 minutes later, these two kids are playing basketball. Two adults, father, son, an uncle, and another uncle, you know, whatever. You called me this, you called me, I'm not talking to you. I know I'm not talking to you. For 20 years, they don't talk to each other. The two kids that were fighting, and one of them had a bloody nose, they're playing. How come the adults are still fighting? And the answer is because children want to be happy. They don't care who's right. I want to play basketball. Let's play. But as we get older, the animal soul in us, our ego in us, and it's, I have to be right, whatever it is, keeps us trapped from growing. It's very, very hard to move on. We really are stuck in our own ways. That's called Egypt. So I want to let you know that there are two parts to our earth here. Listen to this example, and then we'll bring it back. There's the world that I see, trees, birds, lions, tigers, dogs, food, humans. And then there's a world here that I don't see, and that's the ocean. By the way, in the ocean, there's so much stuff over there, it's such beautiful things, but we don't even know about half of the things that are in there. It's called the hidden world. This is the revealed world, but underneath the sea is called the hidden world. So too with you and me. We have the outer world. Everybody sees. You're smiling, you're upset, you have actions. But do you know there's a very, very deep, deep soul in you that has so many qualities, like the deep sea, but you never tap into it? So here you are stuck between the sea and the army. What do I do? And it's the same old every time. Okay, I'll try the same thing again. Maybe this time it'll work. No, says God. Don't get depressed. Don't stay still. Now is not the time. Move. By the way, the biggest problem with people when they are depressed because they're trapped, they don't know what to do, they get depressed, they stay in their bed. Says God, Vayiso, to the Jewish people, move, do something. Just move. And the Jewish people went into the sea. They went deep into themselves. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. Do you know deep inside you, you have so many godly powers, so many godly energies? By the way, whenever you're squeezed to the point that, you ever notice sometimes you come up with an idea and go, wow, I'm proud of myself. I don't know where that came from, but I was able to do it. You have no idea how much more is inside you. So what happens? I'm fighting with my spouse about a divorce. I'm angry. They're angry. It's crazy. Move. Get over it. You're unhappy. So you lose a little bit of the house. So what? I don't know. No. Why should they get more money? I'm not going to do anything. Why should they get more money? Why do I have to give them more money? You know why? Because you want to be happy. No. I have to be right. Okay, so you're now like two adults that are not talking to each other, and the lawyer is making all the money. I'm not going to be with my child. I'm not going to be with my kid. They didn't respect me. Get over it. There's so much more to live for. Get out of your Egypt. Get out of your Pharaoh in your head. Get away from it. Comes God and says, Vayiso, why are you staying in the house? Why are you upset at the world? What do you think? The Democrat government's going to save you. The Republican government's going to save you. Every few years you say the world is going to wherever. Really? Your world is going to wherever. You don't have to be in the noise of it's a he, she, he, thee. You don't have to be in the noise whether he calls somebody a name, not call somebody a name. This is noise that the news needs you to have eyeballs on them, and they think this is your life, and you get all agitated. Are you kidding me? Break the shackle of Egypt. That's what God's saying. It's a messianic move for you. How do you stay in your Egypt? Oh, no, Rabbi, you don't understand. I got to, every single day, I have to sit by my computer, and I got to say how terrible Trump is. I got to say how terrible Biden is. Really? So what did you gain out of it? What did you gain? You happy now? No, because I got to convince somebody else. And how many people did you convince? Nobody. Why? Because they're in their own idolatry. They're in their own Egypt, and they're stuck in their own head. Oh, is it worth it? Comes God and says to the Jewish people, there's another way. Do a Caesar move in your life. The world will be better. So how many of you, when it comes on a Shabbos, no, I have to keep on doing this, I have to keep on doing that. But I'll go to services. No, I don't know how to read Hebrew. So does 90% of the other people. They don't either know how to read, but having a great time. No, it's impossible to having a good time. It's religion. I was told, get over it. You're in for thousands of years, your grandfather and your great-grandfather, your grandmother, they love Judaism. And now all of a sudden, what are you doing? You're running a whole week to do work so you can do something to show on Instagram. That's Egypt. It's Egypt. Comes God and begs you. I chose you. I made you my nation. I gave you a life. You want nachas. You want joy. You want the kids around the table. You want the kids even when they're 30 years old, they come to your house. Without watching the Laker game on a Friday night, without talking politics. You're not talking politics. There's more important things to talk about. Do you know how many people at a Shabbos table, they don't know what else to talk about besides politics? Get out of your Egypt. They have a stronghold on you. You just spent a few $100s to make a beautiful meal. Everybody was screaming at the table. And I'll come back next week to talk about what? The same thing. I'm laughing because I'm thinking in my head, is this the life that you signed up for? Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a better life. How do I know? Because there's happiness in Judaism. It's peaceful. It's yummy. I don't have to be on my phone. I'm not addicted to my phone on Shabbos. I'm a Yankee fan. Whether they win, they lose, I'll find out later. But today, I am me. And I'm filling myself up with going in the path that God said, move. And this is what sustained the Jewish people for thousands of years. So my dear friends, today is Passover, the 8th day. It's the miracle day. It's the miracle of the Mashiach. Today, we can make a move. Either stay on the seashore and be scared about the Egyptians that are near us and we're trapped because of the ocean, or you listen to what God says, Vayisa'u, move! It takes a lot of faith to move into the water. I get it. But the Jew that trusts God, miracles happen. And yes, so you told your kid you're sorry. So what? What did you lose? Nothing. What did you gain? You have the child back in your home. So you and your spouse are not talking to each other and it's going through the lawyers. I get it. You may lose $500,000. I get it. But is your health worth $500,000 and paying the lawyers $500,000? So you're really losing $2 million, $1 million? Is this what you signed up for? Get it over with. Cut your losses. Move on. In business, you would. Because if you stay in the mire, you're only going to sink. To be a Jew. Yeah. But you got to work the program. And the program is God took us out of Egypt, and he brought us to Sinai, and he gave us the beautiful program. And it's in all of these books behind me. And that, my dear friends, is what sustained your great-grandparents and your great-great-grandparents all the way back to Moses. And God is saying to you, my son, my daughter, you don't have to read the books. I'll send you Rabbi Mentz. He'll give you a synopsis. But it's time to get out of Egypt. God bless you all. And may you all have a life much better than what you have right now. Cut your losses. Move on. It's just noise bringing you down. Is it worth it? That's why God took us out of Egypt. He didn't free us from slavery. He freed us from the mind of slavery. And he gave us the tools how to get out of it. God bless you. And let's enjoy Mashiach Day, but not just on Passover, every day of your life.